Welcome, welcome. This is Elizabeth here, dating and inner work coach for high achieving successful women who are wanting to attract the relationship of their dreams. And I am coming on today to talk about the art of being the invitation or being the invitation. So, this idea is rooted in concepts around masculine and feminine polarity, and specifically the masculine feminine early dating dance and having to do with attraction in that very early dance. So, I work with a lot of high achieving, smart, successful women. And one thing they really struggle with is getting and maintaining the interest of the men they are interested in. They do a lot of work early on and are frustrated that men just really aren't reciprocating and pursuing them, especially the men that they are interested in. And often, one of the things that is causing this is not understanding how to approach dating and attraction differently than how we have gotten success in other areas of our lives, like our education and especially our career. Because the way that we are successful in our careers is through using what can be called masculine energy. But when we apply the same process and those same rules to dating, we end up frustrated and burnt out without really getting the success that we are so used to being able to achieve in our careers by using that approach, just applying more effort, more pushing, more making it happen, more actions. It like just doesn't tend to work very well. And while you do need some masculine energy in dating, you don't want to lead with it as your primary strategy for that early part of dating because dating and attraction is different than work, than career. And so here are some common signs that your struggle in dating comes from not understanding how to occupy that feminine pole in dating and attraction being the invitation. So you are pursuing men, men don't pursue you, especially not the ones you're interested in. Men never seem to take you seriously. You're doing most of the initiating, planning, asking when you'll see each other next, making plans, trying to keep everything going. That's like mostly coming from you. You feel exhausted from dating. You feel like you're performing every time you're connecting with a man. You feel responsible for making something happen, and you feel like if you don't take action, nothing will happen. You keep attracting wishy-washy or unavailable men who don't choose you and commit to you. You never feel fully chosen by men. You feel like you're always trying to convince them that they should choose you and you're trying to show them how great you are. You're not relaxed in dating and connecting with men. You're always in your head, strategizing, trying to think one step ahead. And men seem turned off by you, even if at first they might have seemed interested. You just don't get really enthusiastic responses from men. And the men that you aren't interested in, those are the ones who are pursuing you. So if this is you, let me know. So here's what we need to understand. There are different kinds of empowerment and different ways of being empowered, and sometimes we need to shift our approach depending on context. And so there is masculine energy empowerment. We can call it masculine energy. And we do need that in dating and relationships. You need it to help you clarify what you want, what you're looking for. You need it for vetting. You need it for having and upholding boundaries. You need it for certain types of communication. And it's, of course, super necessary in our careers for going after goals and in managing and being productive in our lives. And then there is feminine energy empowerment, and it has its time and place as well. And this often gets overlooked because it is undervalued in a culture that really values the masculine energy side and the masculine energy way of doing things, productivity and goals and achievement. We are a hustle, achievement focused culture, an action focused culture, which is all masculine energy. Whereas feminine energy is empowering in a different way. It's empowering in the sense that it's about your being enough, not needing to produce, to accomplish, to do in order to have value, just being, not needing to chase, not needing to convince, to effort, but instead attracting, relaxing, and receiving. And when it comes to dating, the feminine pole is the one that we get to occupy, and it's the one that's going to work the best for us in dating. So allowing ourselves to be the prize, to be pursued, to be taken care of, instead of having to exert energy and life force in order for things to happen. So this can really be a paradigm shift for my clients. It's like stepping into a whole different world where dating is actually easy and effortless. So why would we want to focus on that energy in particular, especially in early dating in attraction? So men who don't pursue and initiate, who don't move things forward, they either aren't that into you, number one, or number two, they aren't actually available. And for these two types, no matter what you do, you will not be able to make him interested in you. You cannot pursue him and flip that. You cannot convince him. And so all your masculine energy is not going to do anything. Or number three, third type of man here that isn't doing that, they're men who are disempowered in their own masculine energy. And, here's the thing to understand, ladies. A man in that third category who is disempowered in his own masculine energy is going to be disempowered in a lot of places in his life. And while you can make something happen with that man, you can use your masculine energy and get that man on a date with you. You can even maybe get that man into a relationship with you, but he's a go with the flow, see where it goes kind of guy. He's not going to provide direction. He's not going to lead your relationship forward. He's going to be leaned back in life, in your relationship, kind of just letting things happen to him, and you're going to have to be in charge always, you know? Um, he's going to allow essentially a woman to kind of happen to him. She pursues him hard enough that they end up together. But he didn't consciously choose her and didn't put that effort in. And so he's kind of wishy-washy about her. He takes her for granted and he isn't bothered about where it's going or how quickly it's getting there because he was not after something. You were. So often, this man doesn't even know what he really wants. He's kind of coasting through life. He's allowing it to happen to him. And then when he needs to be decisive, when he needs to lead, he needs to take action, he's afraid of responsibility. And so he's going to be indecisive and on the fence. And again, you're going to have to step up and you won't feel like you have a partner. So you'll never feel fully claimed by him, safe with him, desired and wanted, like you can trust him to lead in life as well. And this gets really frustrating for especially these high achieving type A women. You won't feel like you have a partner. And the other thing is, you can't even tell if you have that kind of man, that just not in his empowered masculine energy man, or if you have a man who's actually just uninterested in you or unavailable, because they're going to kind of look the same. And that man's going to eventually leave you for the woman he really wants and does pursue. So we have to understand that men with cultivated masculine energy are pursuers. They are goal oriented. They are decisive. They are leaders in their lives, everywhere, including their love lives. And with these men, your efforts will be reciprocated twofold. What effort you put in, you'll be getting back even more from him. In fact, you will be able to step into kind of the flow of his direction where he's moving things along towards a relationship, into engagement and marriage with clarity and decisiveness. So you're never wondering where you stand with him or what he really wants. You get to relax, you get to receive, which is one thing us high achieving women really crave in a man, in a romantic partnership, because we are working so hard everywhere else. We need that in a partner. We want that in a partner. But being the invitation doesn't mean that you're just sitting there and hoping and praying that you'll be chosen. We're not Disney princesses from the 90s. That's disempowered femininity. Modern feminine energy means that you select the men that you want and you are inviting them to pursue. And I teach you what that can look like and break down different scenarios and examples for this in the High Value Woman. But men nowadays usually don't pursue without a green light, especially not the ones who are, quality men because they tend to be much more respectful and they don't want to overstep. But once we've given the green light, we then become responsive versus leading. That's what we want to do. Because we need to see if he's in his number one, empowered masculine, and number two, if he's seriously interested in us, and his actions are going to be what shows that. So this is the opposite of how we approach almost anything else that we want to accomplish, which is why dating is often so hard for us modern day women who have successful careers and achievements under our belts. But the energetic between men and women is different than the success energetic because it's not straightforward business. It's romance and attraction, which is a totally different ball game. And it's one that I love to help successful, accomplished women master. So you can also be a master of romance and love as well as your career and get that dream relationship, that dream romance with a man who really does want you and has pursued you and really does adore you. You know, in romance, the art of being pursued, it's just a different skill set and you can learn it. So we are currently enrolling for the High Value Woman Mastermind. This is my 5-month intimate group coaching program for high achieving women who are struggling to figure out men and dating and finding that lasting relationship. We do a lot of work around empowering ourselves in dating in all different ways, masculine and feminine. I have a whole training breaking down with specific scenarios, the most common scenarios and ways that being the invitation looks like, and as well as the mindset and the beliefs behind it. So you can take that and transfer it. We look at your dating app conversations and how it applies there, texting, first dates, and beyond. We look at filtering men, vetting men, catching those red flags early on so you're not wasting your precious time and knowing what to look for. What are those green flags? Embodying feminine energy for romance in that early dating stage when it's truly the most important. So we have 3 calls a month. So you're getting coached as you apply all of this to dating. You get an online 8 module step-by-step curriculum giving you everything that you need. We go all the way from the inner work all the way to the practical and everything in between. You have a private Facebook group just with the women in the cohort where you can get support from me outside of our calls. And you'll be part of a small group of women who are going to be there cheering you on. You're going to get a mastermind sister to go through the program with. Many of these women can become best friends. This happens to many of my clients. They visit each other, they are in touch with each other long after the mastermind is over. And having that support, not feeling alone, learning from each other as you're going through this program for those 5 months and you're getting coached, it is really invaluable to have that aspect as well. So the link to join is in my bio and all the details are there as well. If you have any questions about the program, feel free to send me a DM and I will see you later.